Hi, this is Ike from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book to read for you. Today's book is Goofy and the Miller for 1978. So let's get started. There was once an old miller who had three helpers. Their name was Goofy, Jim, and Jack. Goofy was honest and helpful. He did most of the hard work. The other two was lazy. They did not do their fair share. Goofy carried a heavy sack of grain while Jack and Jim played cards, and Goofy swept up while the other loafed. All alone, Goofy pushed and carried the great barrels of oats that would be grounded into oatmeal, and he was always the first to come when the miller called his helpers. One day the millers said, "Soon I am going to retire. I would like to give the mill to one of you. I want each of you to go off into the war. The one who brings me back the finest horses, or the horse, can have the mill and be miller when I retire." The next day, Jack and Jim took the path that led to the richest farmland of the valley. Goofy took the path that led to the forest. Ha ha, laughed the other two. You would never find a horse in the middle of the forest. Goofy walked and walked. He saw birds and chipmunks. He stopped to say hello to a fat frog. He watched fishes jump high out of the water, and he felt like an acrobat as he walked on a log to cross the stream. That night, Goofy slept under a tree. The moon came up, and all the animals watched over him. When Goofy awoke the next morning, an old woman who was standing over him. "What are you doing here?" she asked. "I am looking for the finest horse for the miller," he said. "Will you help me find wood instead?" asked the old woman. "Yes, I will help you," said Goofy. Goofy cheerfully gathered a large bundle of sticks. Then he carried the sticks home for the old woman. "There is my cottage," she said, as she pointed the way. Goofy also carried jugs of water to the cottage for the old woman. Then he fixed the straw roof so the rain would not come in. He chopped wood for her fireplace, and he picked apples so she would have fresh fruit all winter. "Then," said Goofy when he finished, "now you will be snugged all winter long." "You are very kind," said the old woman. "Now I will do something for you. Go home, and in 3 days I will bring you the finest horse you had ever seen." Goofy was surprised, but he believed the old woman. He agreed to go straight home. Goofy waved goodbye until the woman in her small cottage was out of sight. As Goofy walked through the forest, he enjoyed the song of the birds. He shared his lunch with the friendly fish as the frog looked on. Finally, Goofy arrived at the mill. Jack and Joe had gotten there first. The miller was admiring the two beautiful horses they had given him. Jack had found a horse that was large and strong, a good work horse, said the miller. Jim's horse was tall and sleek. "Why, that is a racing horse," said the miller. He scratched his beard. He really did not know which horse to choose. "Where's your horse, Goofy?" asked the miller. "It will be here in 3 days," said Goofy. "3 days?" said Jack and Jim. "You mean your horse walks so slowly?" "It will take 3 days to get here. Ha ha. 3 days is all right with me, said the miller. I will wait. Now come on back to the mill. There is work to be done. And so once more Goofy was back at work. He carried the heavy sack and greased the mill wheels so they could not squeak. He filled the big sack so fast that there was a cloud of flowers around him. Jim and Jack laughed and laughed. Ha ha, Goofy horse needs 3 days to get here, they said. But on the morning of the third day, there was a clatter of wheels and the sound of trumpets. A fine blue carriage pulled up in front of the mill. A beautiful prince was inside the carriage. The miller and Jack and Jim could hardly believe their eyes. Goofy was already hard at work and was nowhere to be seen. The prince leaned out of the window. The miller tipped his hat to her. Where is your helper? The prince said to him. At your service, said Jack and Jim, bowing low. But the prince did not want either of them. Meanwhile, the miller was looking at the horse, led by the groom. Its mane was silk and its coat was glossy. The miller admired its strong teeth. My, he said, this is the finest horse I had ever seen in my life. It must be the finest horse in the world. Just then Goofy came around the corner into the yard, carrying a sack of flour over his shoulder. There he is, that's the one, said the princess. And she got out of her carriage. Goofy was surprised. Who are you? He asked. I am the old woman of the forest, she said. At last, I was your kindness broke. A wicked spell. Now I am a princess again, and this is the horse I promised to bring you. Take him, he is yours, she said. Goofy took the rein of the horse. Then he turned to the miller. This horse is for you, he said. I had never seen such a beautiful animal, said the miller. If this horse is mine, the mill is yours, Goofy. No, leave the mill and come with me, said the princess. You were kind and worked hard for an ugly old woman. You ask no reward. Now you may live happily all the days of your life. Well, said the miller to Jack and Jim, we can't just stand here. Let's see which one of you is the best worker. To him I will give the mill. So now the two had to work for the first time. They carried sack and pushed barrels and greased the wheel. Goofy and the princess rode off in the carriage to the castle that stood where the small cottage had been, and they lived happy ever after. So that was Goofy and the Miller from 1978. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, have a groovy day. And our next book will be Goofy and the Magic Fish.